Welcome back. This video will assume that you have seen both the original Storytime video and part 1 of the voodoo doll. As you can guess based on that, this will be a part 2 to that original voodoo doll story, where we'll see what fate has in store for you. With that being said, however, let's begin. Start by staring at the spiral and begin to slow your breathing. In, hold for a moment, and out. In again, hold for a moment, and out. Keep breathing at that pace. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and on 1, you're going to drop deep into trance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Story time. Sitting in your covered prison, still stuck on your knees and body limp. Time unclear, as you don't know how long you've been in here. You don't seem to be hungry or thirsty, though you've managed to get some rest at least. Whatever magic she used seems to make you very, very similar to that doll. Your mind has been racing, trying to think of some way out, something you can do, but your body doesn't listen to you. You've tried reaching and moving, trying everything to break free. But your body has become a prison, from the prison of this cupboard. But then suddenly your thoughts are interrupted by the creak of the door as it opens up and you see your captor. The young girl opens up the door once more, looking in, smiling with glee. Oh, my little dolly's awake. That's good. I was going to show you off today. You try your best to make a snarled expression, but nothing happens. You've begun to lose more and more control, barely able to say a word. Oh, I guess that's a side effect. Oh well, this'll still be fun. She picks up the doll, lifting it into the air, and with it, your limp body rises up, and she brings you out of the cupboard, the light filling your eyes, being almost blinding at this moment. But at least you can see something. At least your body's moving, though not to your own will. She brings the doll and yourself out into the living room, that same empty living room, with but a TV, a coffee table and a couch. Though a new addition to the room are 2 other girls, about the same age as the young lady, though one bearing ruby red hair, ending in curls, and the other shoulder length brown locks. This is so much worse. It's the only thought that can rush through your head. Not only have you been taken captive, but now there's an audience to see your suffering. You wonder what could be going wrong with these girls' heads to not do something, to not stop this person who's taking you captive. But at this point, there's not much you can do. As the doll is set down on the table in a kneeling position, locking you back in that pose, the girl looks to her small little friend group and asks, "So, which one of you want to have a go with them first?" The redhead jumps up with glee for grabbing the doll forcefully. You feel the pressure of her hand tightly grip the doll, and that same pressure grip onto you as your body jerks up into a standing position. She looks at you and looks at the doll. You get an almost sinister feeling from this girl as she begins to move the doll, forcing your arms behind your back, almost to the point where it's a little uncomfortable. She doesn't seem like she's going to push it too far, at least you hope. She smiles, seeing that your body can't help but move along. She used the doll to forcefully bring you closer to her as she places a hand on your chin. "Oh, I'm so sad that she wouldn't let me have you. You know, I'm the one who made these dolls. I bet you didn't think magic was real, did you?" "Don't worry, I didn't think so either till recently. You're actually the first little test subject. But now that I know it works, I'm sure I can sell these for a pretty penny. Or maybe I'll just have some more dolls. But I want to really test the limits, okay? So be good." As she says this, you feel her throw the doll onto the couch, swiftly pulling your body through the air and placing you down right next to it. She giggles with glee as she moves over to the doll with something in her hand. It looks almost like a needle. You try your hardest to squirm, looking afraid of what she could do, before the girl who kidnapped you grabs her hand. "Hey, that's a bit far. I like having this doll, and I don't need you breaking it, okay?" With a disappointed look, the redhead puts the needle away and just sits cross-legged on the coffee table, gesturing to the brown-haired girl to have a go. Still angry, you at least have some relief that this girl is taking you, at the very minimum, doesn't wish for you to be harmed, which is some relief. But the brown-haired girl, while you're mid-thought, picks up the doll. Without saying a word, she decides to dance you around the room a little, moving the doll. You move incoherently, not really a dance or a walk. You move like a doll being flicked around on strings. She doesn't stand you in a pretty pose or anything like that. Just moving you around the room, flailing arms, dancing around and spinning. It's almost dizzying as she moves you around like this. But suddenly it all comes to a halt. As she goes and brings the doll closer to you, and brings you closer to the doll. And as this happens, a strange feeling comes over you. You feel the doll pulling you in. You try your hardest to resist, feeling that something bad is about to happen. For the doll is placed on your head, and your mind shuts off, going limp like the doll. Unable to register what's happening, you wake as the doll is removed from your head, now wearing a beautiful, cute little dress fit for a dolly. The girl with brown hair looks to you before speaking. Oh, interesting. So it does shut off your mind when close by. Well, I don't want you to suffer too much, so I'm going to give you a gift. The other girls look to her a little confused as she takes a marker out and draws a smile on the doll. And as she does, you feel a smile creep across your face as well. Before she writes on the doll, happy. And suddenly you were filled with joy and being controlled like a doll. You were suddenly in love with your situation. You can't think of a better way to spend the rest of your life. Smiling up at the girl as she continues to play with her new doll. Story time over. Welcome back to reality. Take a moment to stretch yourself out and come back to the world around you. I do hope you enjoyed the part 2 to the Voodoo Doll series. Well, possibly a series. If you guys have any ideas for how part 3 could go, I'd be happy to hear it out and maybe even make it. With that being said, however, you go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. Till next time, bye-bye.